And welcome everyone. My name is Zarek Dion Williams. I'm your host of Actorholics. And tonight I got a treat for you guys, man. I mean, I call him my big brother. I just say big brother, much respect.
There you go.
But I've watched his career just blossom over the years. And ever since we met, it's just been an awesome journey. And it's always good to meet people and see where they were and then where they are now. And this is the platform that I created, to allow actors like Tony, myself, and others to, talk about, what they've experienced, their journey, their advice, they can give, even vent. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you come on the show and just vent. What's wrong? What's going on? You know what I mean? Just keep it all the way real. But ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know or who know, I want to welcome Mr. Tony J. Scott. Give it up, y'all.
Thanks for having me, brother.
Yes, sir. This gentleman is an actor, dancer, activist, community service. He is a big brother in his own right. I'm pretty sure he's giving his wisdom to a lot of people out there and helped a lot of people. So, Tony, why don't you go ahead and tell us who you are, man, and your background.
Yeah. I'm Tony J. Scott. I'm an actor. I'm a U.S. Army veteran. I'm a ballroom dancer and teacher. And used to be a competitor. Yeah. I mostly just teach senior citizens now.
No.
Yeah. I had the very first Black-owned ballroom dance studio.
Really?
With the National Dance Council of America in the country.
Wow.
And I had it right here in Atlanta in West End for 20 years.
Wow, I never knew that, man.
I'm
learning something.
We had parties, we had competitions, we danced a lot of salsa, foxtrot, waltz. It was it was something that I definitely wanted to be in the community with it. Mm-hmm. So I left up north Atlanta, and brought it down south.
Okay.
Southwest.
Southwest.
There you go.
That's right.
Yeah, had a big old warehouse, stayed there for 20 years.
Wow. I never knew that, man. Yeah. I just went on your page and I was like, man, I know Tony. And man, you still got it, man. I mean, I didn't know you had that in you, man.
Moving a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, but you still teach, right?
I still, once or twice a week, though. I closed my studio. I just teach at the Senior Citizen Center,
Okay.
Seniors, they be rocking now, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Seniors do everything now.
Hey, man, I tell everybody, you got to keep moving, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Don't worry about the number. Don't worry about the age. Just keep moving.
It's a good time to be elderly now, Yeah, because you can live forever now. Not like back in the 60s.
Right.
You was dead by the time as soon as you retired, you was gone.
I know that's right. So
yeah, and then as far as the acting, that I started. Well, I did high school and stuff like that. But when I got out the Army, around 2014, I started taking classes, company acting studio, and I owe that pretty much to Tyler Perry, because for a while I was doing background stuff. Actually, Tyler Perry, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, that's what kicked it off. He didn't come, but his extras casting came to my studio, my dance studio, and needed dancers for Diary of a Mad Black Woman for this particular scene.
Uh-huh.
And that was like my first introduction to the whole film side of it, acting side. I mean, I studied filmmaking in college, but the whole acting side of it on a professional level like that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we did like 3 or 4 background appearances for a few of those Tyler Perry.
Wow. So if I had to, well, let me just ask, what inspired you to start pursuing this career? Like, was it, watching someone else, a friend or someone who was pursuing this, or you always wanted to do this?
Always wanted to do it. Yeah, I was in Detroit. I'm from Detroit. And
what part? My wife's from
Detroit.
What part?
Yeah, West Side. Lived over by 6 Mile, Illinois.
Okay.
I just had this conversation, as a matter of fact, with somebody from the BMF family, and can't say no more about it. But we talked. We went way back talking about Detroit, different schools we went to, stuff like that. But yeah, I actually left Detroit for a number of reasons. But I moved to California in my senior year of high school. Wanted to be an actor. None of that worked out, but ended up in the military. Finally got out of the military. I did the ballroom dance thing. Like I said, I ran into Tyler Perry's whole production thing. Got interested again, but didn't really start pursuing it until 2014.
Okay.
2014, I ended up at the company acting studio. Learned a lot. Stella Adler is my go-to method-wise. And I just got lucky, got an agent, got a couple of agents.
How long were you doing it or pursuing it before you got your agent?
About 3 years. I spent 3 years at Company Acting Studio.
Okay.
Like 3-4 days a week. Me on my motorcycle was there. And so I had graduated from Georgia State University in 2014, so I went straight into acting, studying acting after that. Okay. And I was with AWA for a minute, and I was with SALT for a minute.
Nice.
SALT, yeah. And then now I'm with STW.
Okay. Nice.
Yes, Susan Walters. So yeah, she keeps me busy.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, now is her agency like a boutique agency, or is it?
I don't know if they still refer to it like that. Yeah, maybe. But she also has an office in New York, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, probably. So,
I would say it's probably still the boutique side. It's not like as big as some of the other ones.
Yeah. I kind of prefer those, man, the boutique ones, because pay more attention to me. But so you said you have 2, one on the East Coast.
She has
one.
She has 2 offices.
So you have both of your agents, or?
Well, yeah, I have another agent he's in New Mexico.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, but STW has an office in New York and Southeast.
Okay.
So they cover a lot of territory.
Yeah.
Which is how I ended up on Equalizer, matter of fact.
Really? Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a good segue. I mean, let's.
Yeah. Oh man, that story.
You got to tell us about that one, man.
Story.
I mean, brother.
That's the story right there. Let me tell you, I had just finished doing True Lies and Will Trent, and all of a sudden Equalizer called, and I'm like, yeah, Equalizer going, but now it was local hire, right? So I lied and said, yeah, I'm in New York.
I know that's right. Yeah,
I knew I was gonna foot the bill, so I just said okay. And so Martin Luther King Day, I must have been 2019, 2020, I'm not sure whatever year it was.
Yeah.
COVID, right?
Yeah.
I take my car in and get it to get the oil change. Got home 2 days later, I was positive for COVID, Jack. I got COVID, and I'm like, oh man, I got this job. I'm supposed to be going to New York, and they wanted me to come in for a fitting the next day, right? And
So you didn't have to audition?
no, I auditioned.
Oh,
But
okay.
so after I had already finished the process and
Oh,
everything,
okay.
they were requesting me wardrobe or whatever because that suit me in this the
Oh, yeah,
uniform.
that
I played
uniform.
the general, so that there was a lot of work involved in that. And so my agent was like, "Oh shit, well, we're gonna, I couldn't go two weeks early to New York,
Mm-hmm.
and so we had to come up with something to say why we couldn't. So basically, we stretched the truth a little bit and said that I was still working on Will Trent,
Right.
which I had already been wrapped. But then I got COVID, so kind of like, so I had to quarantine in Atlanta.
Wow, wow,
That
wow.
was our story, right? But it was true. And then it came time for me to actually get on the plane and go. I'm testing myself every day,
Yeah.
right? Up knows that
Yes,
nonsense.
sir.
Still positive. So the thing was, what you got to do back then was you had to go and get an official exam and say you were positive on this date.
Okay.
And my agent tried to explain it to me, but I didn't understand it. Anyway, it's time for me to get on the plane. It's 4:00 in the morning. I test myself again. I'm still positive. I'm texting her. I'm still positive. Well, she says, get on the plane and go. Because the rule was back then, I don't know if you remember, but 14 days after you test positive, you were good to go, whether you tested positive again or not. And then it was 10 days, and then it was 7 days. So now I'm on the 7-day thing, and it didn't matter. They ain't even supposed to test you anymore. So anyway, I'm on the plane, I get there, and I'm staying in this Airbnb for like a week, and finally go get my costume fitting, and yeah, it worked out great, man. And the queen, she was like,
Well, man, that is crazy to me,
man.
When something is for you, it is for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I saw that posting on your social page, and I was like, wow, yeah, COVID. And then, it was like seeing that, almost like the day, the day of the shoot or the day before or something like that, you were negative.
Yeah, I tested the day that. Matter of fact, I went in for my fitting, and they already know. Human resources, they know that you had it, and you already recovered from it. So they tested me, and I'm sweating bullets now. Because then I went over I left the COVID place, testing place, and went to the fitting place, and they were still waiting for the phone call. Phone call finally came in. Well, they texted me and said negative. So I had to show them, and then right. But in actuality, when I think about it, they really shouldn't have tested me because they didn't have to. Because when I showed up that Monday to work, they didn't even have my name on the list to be tested anywhere on there.
Oh, wow.
So, and they were testing everybody else. But since I had tested positive, excuse me, they don't even want you to test again. Because if you test positive again,
it doesn't make
I don't know. They got to make a decision though. So yeah, when I went to set and I'm walking down the street, people thanking me for my service.
Yeah, man. But you're real life now. Were you?
I mean,
you're real life.
Yeah, I'm a veteran. I'm a veteran.
You're
a
ranger. You're a ranger, right?
Yeah, I was a ranger. Yeah.
Now, for people who don't,
I just got inducted into the Ranger Hall of Fame, man. Big ceremony about 2 years ago. Yeah, it was.
Congratulations, brother.
It was like
congratulations.
30 years. It took 30 years, but they got me in there.
Wow.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
That's why I say Mr. Tony J. Scott. Hey, man, thank you for serving. I mean, for those who don't know, Rangers are serious people. You know what I'm saying? You guys, there's some bad boys. So But do you think your background, military background, helped you to book that role?
Oh yeah, I ran into a couple of people who actually did audition for it. One was actually a retired cop, and another one he just he wasn't affiliated at all. But yeah, I think that helped for sure. I think it also helped me get that role for True Lies. Now, True Lies, that was a story. April Winnie was the director. She was great. I spent the whole first half of, and I'm on set. I'm the only actor on set, and there's, you know how many people
Right.
and on crew.
Right.
It was overwhelming.
Right.
I didn't have any lines or anything, but I'm the only actor, and I'm at a gun range, right?
Right.
And I was firing it to the targets or whatever. They weren't live rounds, but they were blanks,
Okay.
so it was real. It was a real situation.
That's
So and then they blew up the truck. They blew. They actually. I got to watch the truck being blown up. They actually had a dummy of me inside the truck. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And so April Winnie, the director, after when I got wrapped, she just hugged me and she said it was unanimous.
Yes.
Picking me was unanimous, and I think that's what happens a lot of times when because you don't never hear, does somebody want this person and you want this person and they want that person, to hear that it was unanimous. And you've been on set when the director come up and you say, when I saw you, I just knew. I just knew it was.
Well, I say, man, if it's for you, it's for you. You had everything unanimous. You had everything they wanted. You had the background. You had the look. Would you have a unique look, anyways? And being able to, handle a weapon on set is important. I tell people, you can't just be on there talking about, I know how to shoot a gun. Everybody can shoot, but you don't want to just be on set waving the gun or talking. You still got the gun in your hand. They don't allow it.
Yeah, because I actually got hit a couple of times from the shell expanding from from the 45, because it's an old style 45, one of them old style. So the shell casings expand, exits, and they were flying up. And you can't react to nothing like that. You just you can't you can't. And they're hot. They're hot too.
You got to stay in character.
You gotta stay with it. Because it was firing really fast, bang, 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 bang. So they were.
Wow.
So you can't be like, hey, this, you didn't tell me this was gonna happen.
Well, thank God you didn't get hurt. But man, what an experience, man. How was it just working with Queen, man?
That was she she was off shooting another scene, so she had her double for most of the morning sessions, and then she showed she came. I gave her a Ranger coin. I do that a lot when I'm on set. If it's somebody special, give them a Ranger coin, a little Ranger coin, maybe a pen or something like that, And they loved it. And then she said, hey, because she had a cousin who was a Ranger, so that was real special for her.
Yes.
But I talked to her for a couple of minutes. She was cool, man. It's just real professional. It was a really good 2 scenes that I got to shoot 2 people, in my scene, and she saved my life. That's what she does. That's what
Equalize.
That's what she does. Yeah, she saves people's lives, man.
What would you say you took from that experience working with her, or working on that set?
It was restrictive because it was still COVID, so they had COVID people going around, making sure we put our masks on in between sets. They just made it look really easy, man. They've been. There was probably a new director for that particular episode, but everybody it was by the numbers, man. It was just to be a part of something as professional as that, and just it's magical, man. It's so magical to be working on something, on anything really, but and because you imagine it, right? You do the audition, and you put her here, you put that person here, you put the camera right there in your mind, and you see it all. And then when you find out you got it, and then you go through the negotiations, you're still affirming all that, right? And then when you get there, and it's nothing like what you thought it was gonna be, but it's like it's an out of body experience, and you have to control that,
Yeah.
because it'll blow up in your head and you start slurring your words or something. You'll be saying things that you
Not supposed to.
I don't even know what I'm saying right
Right.
now. And you have to. It's like jumping out of an airplane, right? Seriously, you get to the door and you're doing something that's totally unnatural, and you can either panic and say I ain't going, or you control it and you just leave, right? And you have to control fear, because if you don't, it will control you.
That's some good information.
It will control you. And when you're on set, there's hundreds of people looking at you, and they say go, or they say jump, and you gotta do it.
AKA action.
Action, yeah. And you can't focus on how you're feeling at that. And I'm saying that for me because I don't have a whole lot of experience. I don't work every day. I don't. It's not like a full-time job for me. So every experience is brand new.
Yeah.
And it's got different kind of
elements
you got to overcome for yourself. Your pants might be too tight.
Yeah.
And who knows what it is, man. It could be something that's
simple, real simple.
This one movie I did, Into the Ashes. I had to fall down, and because I got shot and had to fall down,
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And I had to keep falling, and every time I fell, it was rain. It was wet.
Yeah.
And and I was on this downhill slant, right? And the water would creep up my leg. Just one leg every time. The water would just creep up my leg, and I had to lay there, and it was going all up my leg. If I had to play dead, right?
Right.
And then my hair was getting stuck. My hair was stuck because there's blood coming out of my head, and my head now stuck to the concrete.
Oh, wow.
Did
they give you knee pads?
Yeah, for a couple of the shots. Yeah, I had on knee. I fell on the mat the first time. I fell on the mat the first time, and since it was downhill, my legs went up in the air. I fell, my legs, and they said, "Tony, you gotta keep your legs down." I'm like, yeah, I know this is on the hill though.
I know, right?
And so I had to control that every time, because my legs automatically just wanted to fly up because I was tilted, So I had to control that. And then because they had like 4 or 5 different outfits because they kept tearing. Yeah, and then they fitted me with some pads and stuff like that.
Okay. Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah. Man, that is awesome information, man.
I still remember you in Atlanta, man.
I remember you on Atlanta.
The parking lot, dude. Man, that you played that role, man.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
That was stuff. It's something when you can take something a small bit and make it come to life, because see, it's not about you. It's about that story and helping them get that story told.
That's it,
right?
So, man, that was a great experience with the Queen. Now, tell us about the process and how everything went about, booking Manhunt.
Yeah, Manhunt was. Did you see the episode? Oh yeah, you've been watching the series. Yeah. I'll tell you something about Manhunt. I actually talked with the writer. We texted a couple times. She was like, "Yeah, that scene was very moving. The scene I was in was very moving." I'll tell you why I think. This is all based on a true story, right? So back in the 1800s or whatever, 1863 or 64, about a dozen or so Georgia preachers, Southern preachers, met with General Sherman and Stanfield, Secretary Stanfield, about what to do with all the land that they conquered. right? And so it was decided that it would be divided up amongst the newly freed slaves, right? That part's true. They actually did meet and to discuss this. And the thing about it was they kind of haphazardly said, "Oh, and by the way, when the military is done with the mule, everybody will get a mule," right? So that became the whole 40 acres and a mule thing. Mm-hmm. The way we say it now, it's like one sentence.
Right.
But when it was actually talked about, it was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, there's a mule. We can, you'll get a mule too." But the thing about it was the scene, my scene took place in the actual location where this meeting took place.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, man. It's a museum, right?
Yeah.
It's a museum in Savannah, Georgia, where it actually took place.
Yeah.
And it was, I don't know, it meant something to me.
Man, I'm big on energy, and I'm sure that energy of the previous ancestors was in that room. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the night before, I had read. Well, I only had one line. Originally I had. Oh, when I did the audition, Victor Love played the other preacher, and but when you did the audition for that show, we had to do for both preachers. Mm-hmm. Right, you know how they do.
Yeah.
And so I got preacher number 2. I had 2 or 3 lines, but they were kind of, too gospel-y, too philosophical, kind of like. So they took them out. I ended up with one line, but I knew that one of the preachers was going to have to do the prayer, and so I'm thinking to myself the night before, they're gonna ask me. Now I'm gonna bring the house down, right? So enough, she came and asked me, and I said, "Hey, you want me to pray out loud or to myself? It don't matter. I'm gonna bring the spirit in this."
Mm-hmm.
She said, "No, I just want you to get on your knees." And she was sort of like, the writer put it in there, so we want to do it.
I'm thinking, and it made sense.
It made sense. Yeah, and yeah, man, it was moved. Every time I did it, it just I couldn't. It was hard to recover from it. At the end, and then General Sherman was like back and forth saying about how the black man and we were weak no more, no meek no more kind of thing. It was so real, man. To take what we do is pretense, right? It's all made up, fun, pretend stuff. And even though we're in the same room and doing it for real, it's still pretend, right?
Right.
But we believe it so much.
You be in the moment so much, man. It becomes real.
It becomes real. It's like the difference between having faith and knowing something. There's a difference, right?
There's a difference.
I know you and me are doing this right now. I don't have to have faith in it.
Right. I know we're two men. We're black. We know this. We don't have to believe this.
Yeah. Yeah, it was powerful, man. The Manhunt. Then, of course. So I was in Savannah for about a week for that. And Tobias Menzies, he's he's the main character from England. Yeah. We talked. I said, when you on that show, I got the show wrong, right? I gave the wrong name, and he laughed, man. He was cool with it. I thought I called it. I forgot the name of the show he was in now. Remember back in the day, the Immortals, the guy in the Immortals, they used to cut each other's heads off.
Yeah.
That's the show. That's the one I mentioned. He's like, no, it wasn't that one. It's the other one. I was like, oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know.
You broke the ice, man. You broke the ice.
Yeah, I sure did, man. But now he's such a professional. I mean, he works every day. It's his life. Yeah.
I know that. That's a goal for all of us, man. Where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years in this thing?
Well, next 5 years, I'll be 70. So I'm hoping that there'll be some 70-year-old roles for me. Hopefully I'm the one they call when they come to Atlanta. By then, they don't have to decide between 5 of us. Maybe I'll just get Tony.
Well, you'll
Tony's
still
still
get,
there.
when you get 70, you'll still, book 50 to 70.
Yeah, well,
Because you don't look your age, you know what I mean? Which is always a good thing.
yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Because hey, I've auditioned for 80-year-olds, man,
Oh, wow.
and sometimes they just write that. They just write that in.
Yeah.
But,
Well, it's a blessing either way, man,
Yeah, it's all, yeah. It definitely is. 5 years, as long as I'm still, if I'm still functioning, if I'm still healthy, I'll be doing it. I'll be doing it just like you. 5 years from now, you and me, we're gonna be doing this again.
We're gonna come back on here 5 years from now.
Yeah. Hey. Now, do you save these? Are these saved anywhere, or is it
Yeah.
You have a archive thing?
Yeah, I'll probably gonna post them in another couple of days or so, but I'll send it to you.
Oh yeah.
Now, before we go, because I know it's 7:31, but I mean, not that you haven't already given us good information or advice, but what advice can you give, a person, seeking this industry? If you want to give us that, or just in general about life, or what I'm saying, because you're a wise brother. You obviously, you've been around for a while. What can you tell me?
I wish I had some advice. Every day is new, man. I wake up. You have to choose to be who you're gonna be that day. If you want to be happy, happiness is something that I'll be going after. I think you just have to tell yourself every day. Just like if you're in a relationship, every day you wake up, you gotta say, I love my wife, she loved me.
Yeah.
You wake up every day and you believe it, and you just repeat it until it's what it is, until it's real. That's some advice, man. Just make it. You have to believe you're happy.
Mm-hmm. And just like you said earlier, there's a difference between knowing and believing, or faith. You know what I'm saying? Either you're gonna know it, or you're gonna just have faith that it is true. I like to. I'm more so on. I like to know. I know for a fact.
Yes, can't nobody take it from me.
Exactly.
And
I
it's
don't
different
need.
for me. I don't have a partner that I have to balance things off of, so I can be happy. I can be happy every day.
Yeah.
Now somebody with a partner, they got. It depends. Their happiness might depend on their partner being happy.
Mm-hmm.
But you can still know it. You can still believe it. You can still trust in it. Whether but you just have to wake up and feel that way, and continue to reinforce it. Yeah. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Tony, man, hey brother, I want to thank you so much for joining me. Yeah, man, for real. I mean, a couple of years from now, I want to be able to say, hey, you remember we talked about this, man? Now you're working every day, brother.
Working every day.
But I'm definitely, thriving to meet that goal as well. But thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time, man, and much success to you. Yeah, let's stay in touch, brother.